Hello everyone, this is Al Cooper and along with me Jeff Wright. We're socially distanced here trying to adhere to our rules here at New Palestine High School. We don't have our masks on so you can hear us right now, so hopefully that'll be a benefit to you. Wanted to reach out to all of our sports families and for a fall sports parent meeting, doing it digitally this year. Just really want to make sure that you're kind of on board with some things that are coming down the way here. Obviously, you're going to see a slide here of our contact information. If you've got any questions, contact us via email. Anyone here in the athletic department, myself, Jeff Wright, Melissa Tillage, even Andrew Smith, our sports information director, can be very helpful to you as well. And there's a phone number there for you to contact us at any time. So feel free to reach out to us. It's going to be a really unique year, I think, Mr. Wright, with the COVID limitations and some new guidelines that we're going to have to go through. We really are as excited as we could be about the unknown, and we hope that our goal is to be as safe as possible and really get into our fall seasons and continue through the winter and spring. But we all know that we don't know what to expect.
No, we don't. We'll go right into safety as we talk about our athletic mission here in a minute. Safety is something we talk about every year and think about every year, but it's even more so this year. Even since late March, we've been in weekly athletic director Zoom meetings with athletic directors throughout the state. Every week, the number one topic is athlete safety and fan safety as well. So this is something that we focus on every day. We had, at the beginning of our practices, we started some of our practices July 6th. Mr. Cooper and I, we met with all of the teams, and we really emphasized, as we did with coaches throughout meetings, the importance of the COVID-19 guidelines and how safe we need to be with social distancing and masks and sanitizing our hands. And we also talked with our student athletes. We have two goals. Number one, their student safety and health. That's the first priority. That's the first goal. That leads to the second goal, which is to have a fall season and then hopefully a winter season and a spring season. And we talked about you control what you can control. A lot of things are out of our control, but what we can control is our own health guidelines that we practice every day. So we really emphasize that. Our coaches have done a great job with that. Our student athletes have done a great job with that. But athletic safety and health, it just has to be at the forefront of everything we're doing right now.
And we're going to talk a lot more about how we're going to help protect fans and all of that in the future. But getting back to our athletic mission, like Jeff said, it's our number one mission now is safety, health and safety of our players, coaches, workers, and fans that come into our venues. But for our athletes, we still want them to focus on commitment, character, and class, like you see behind us here. So that has not changed. That's an expectation that our coaches do a great job of selling to our kids, and our kids do a great job of implementing that not only in school, but in our community and for our athletic teams as we travel and as they represent us throughout the year. Again, one of our main focuses, aside from safety too, is our academic excellence in terms of trying to promote high standards for our kids in the classroom. Last year, our seniors were awarded nearly $2 million in academic award and / athletic award. Probably going to tip the scale at over $2 million. So that's a great benefit to what we try to teach with education-based athletics here at New Palestine High School, and I would say across the state of Indiana, really. It's a great value, and we really work hard to make that happen. Our next slide talks about COVID-19 guidelines. So what we are doing now is following what our state and local guidelines that we've been given. And we really have worked hard to make sure and maintain a level of consistency for our athletes. One, through the pre-screening that all of our athletes do before they come to practice and or workouts, on a daily symptoms check. That has been very much well received. We have an online, we can document everything. that makes things consistent for us. While we're indoors, our kids are wearing masks till they get to the workout themselves to make sure that they're doing the things that they're supposed to do to protect each other, and then hand sanitizing both coming and going. So when they are in our buildings, so we clean and disinfect not only the place where they are, but also the equipment that they use on a daily basis, balls, things of that nature. So a lot of it does go back to our kids, and they're doing a great job of making sure that happens. But and honestly, we're relying on their commitment to being honest with us, and our parents doing a good job of making sure that COVID screening form is done on a daily basis. So with the cooperation that we've had so far, it certainly has been very, very good. As far as fan safety and what we're planning to do at this time, it's still a work in progress. I guess that's kind of where I would leave it right now. But first off, we really feel like there's a strong possibility that our crowds may be limited in numbers. That creates a few more guidelines that we need to have in place. For example, we're going to ask fans to pre-screen themselves. I mean, if you have a temperature over 99.5 and you have a COVID symptom like a fever, not only just a fever, but a headache, cough, or anything like that, we don't want you here. Sorry, but we have to do our part as a community to keep each other safe and our athletes so we can have a fall season. That's one of our main goals, safety and have a fall season. So that's something that we really expect out of our fans as they come in. The other thing is there's a very real chance that you will have to wear a mask to be in our venue, and social distance. We'll have, just like a good example is what we had to do at graduation. So having some limitations to our venue, say in football, even volleyball, soccer, those places where you would have paid people coming in, it's going to be a pretty hard line in terms of how we can manipulate that facility so that we can have fans, so we can keep our seasons moving. And to me, that's going to take everybody. So really working hard to make sure our fans play a vital role in the safety of that. So, and then we're really working on some ticketing procedures.
So I think like every athletic department right now, we're looking at different options of selling tickets to our events. Right now we're researching a few online ticketing retailers, some services that will allow you to purchase tickets online through your phone and also in advance of game day. That way you don't have to stand in line, just a safer way and a contact-free way to purchase tickets to our events. We also, at this time, plan to have some cash lines available.
One cash line
right,
available,
where you can purchase tickets with cash, but this gives us another option where you can purchase tickets online, contact-free. Just come in, show us your ticket on your phone, and you are in the event. This just gives us another option, just another safer way to get all of our fans, that whatever limited number that is, that we can get you into the venue safely and on time.
The digital piece allows us to actually monitor the number as well. So, for example, if our football venue can take, say, 1,000 people, not including players on the field, so 1,000 spectators, let's say, we can then digitally monitor that number and set a cap on it. So when it's sold out digitally, we may only have available 200 cash participants to come in the venue, and there's a chance that you may not be able to get into an event that's sold out based on the numbers that we have to abide by. So we're going to do our part, and that's a safety issue. So again, it goes back to that number one priority, trying to keep everybody safe so we can move forward. And that could be week to week, month to month, game to game, just depending on what comes down the way. We're going to have to be flexible and understand that this is a different year for us, not only in athletics, but in school and around our country and the community. So Another good news is we are also exploring ways for those people that can't get tickets or get in, really looking into some live streaming for events through Facebook Live, YouTube, and which would be beneficial to you as a spectator if in fact you cannot get a ticket to view something live. We do view this as a temporary thing, kind of. We may be able to do that this year, maybe not next year. There are some pay-per-view options out there, but right now there's some limitations with that, so that we're really not set up to accommodate. So it could come to you as a benefit to be able to view our games, some of our games, not every single contest, but a lot of them on streaming Facebook Live or YouTube. So we have had that capability in the past. You've seen us when we've gone to, say, Center Grove. You've been able to view it there, and some other places. IHSA TV has been able to do that for you. So a lot of things we're looking at right now. And the good thing about that is you'll get to hear the great voice of Andrew Smith. So we could tie his broadcast, Dragon Radio, into that. So one other reminder that we want parents to understand, our fees have not changed. It's still $100 for transportation fees. Our students will have to wear masks on bus as they're transported, but that's a safety issue. But our transportation needs, we may have to take a few more buses, but we've kept that transportation cost at $110. As a result of our limited capacity potential in our venues this year, we will not be selling sports passes this year. It's not something that we can do as a result of we don't know what's coming our way. So sports passes will not be sold this year.
Each year we use social media to keep everyone updated of any schedule changes, any venue changes. We have many ways we can do that. First way, one of the bigger ways, on Twitter at NPHS Dragons. We keep that updated. Also on Facebook at New Palestine Dragons Athletics. Go to those sites. If you follow us on Twitter, you get updates sometimes many times a day, but we update as soon as we get information from a school about something changing. We will get it out there on Twitter, also on Facebook. You can also visit our website, newpalestineathletics.com. Information about every single one of our athletic programs, including schedules on there. To get updated schedules, if you go to our main page and click on the More tab, it's up at the top on the right-hand corner. Click on the More tab. You can have a choice of athletic calendar, which will show you the events throughout each month. So, for example, on August 15th, it will show you the scrimmages that we have coming up. And that's updated up to the minute as well.
Correct.
Also, you can choose event list by sport. So if you just want to see boys tennis, the schedule for that, and not every other event going on, if you choose from a menu, click the sport you want to look at, and that will show you these schedules as well. So per each sport. So lots of ways to get the schedules, the times, locations where we'll be. We also have an event link mobile app that you can have on your phone. We have it on our phones.
Yeah.
Again, so you have the calendar at your fingertips you can stay up to date on all things Dragons athletics.
And you'll hear Dragon Radio on many occasions. So just want to touch one thing. I want to go back just 1 second with the live streaming, because that could be extremely beneficial, not only to you, but also our corporate sponsors. So we really want to thank those corporate sponsors who have still stayed on board with us through this pandemic and are really going to help benefit themselves. So that will be a place where they will get a little more bang for their buck as well, and you'll be able to stay in touch with them there. Talking about 2019-2020 Dragon accomplishments, obviously we lost our spring season, unfortunately, for those seniors and those teams that were playing to have great seasons. So, but we still had a great fall and winter season. We had boys and girls basketball were sectional champions. We had a state champion, back-to-back state championship in football, and in the 5A ranks, Mr. Football, Charlie Spiel, great accomplishment for not only Charlie, but our program and our school and our community. And then 4 HHC champions. In terms of championships, sectional titles, we had 4, 2 regionals and a semi-state. So all those accomplishments happened because everybody pulling in the same direction. And the nice thing about this, we talked about the over $2 million that was awarded both academically and athletically to our seniors. We have multiple college athletes and collegiate commitments heading on to bigger and better things for them as representatives of New Palestine High School. So we couldn't be more proud of that. I want to let Jeff talk about maybe some awards and services that we're able to offer to our students.
And those players, those athletes are playing throughout the nation.
Oh yeah.
In all kinds of different sports, and we're proud of all of them. They represent us very well. Looking at some awards and services, we have a number of awards that our athletes earn throughout their high school career. Some are right after the season at the end of the year meetings with their coaches, certificates, depending on whether they're JV or varsity certificates, chevrons of their sport, the interlocking NP,
Get their
the
first
class
varsity
numerals,
award,
get a windbreaker if they're in a varsity sport for a second straight year. So a lot of different awards there. We also have the all-conference honors, the all-state academic honors that we hand out that are very well deserved. We also have our team awards, our postseason and individual as well, team and individual postseason awards, sectional winners, regional, semi-state, state. So lots of different awards that we hand out throughout the year. For our multi-sport athletes, so we highly encourage, if you participate in 2 sports, all 4 years, any
Just
2 sports.
participate. Don't have to be a varsity winner.
No,
Just
for all 4
force-
years, you get a blanket, a personalized New Palestine Dragon red blanket that you can take on to college with you. Or I think our athletes really enjoy that. It's a pretty
we had
neat award.
17 of those
Right.
this year. We
We
presented at graduation.
Yep, a graduation practice. So our athletes work really hard, and they deserve all these rewards that we can recognize them with. We also talk about with our teams and athletes about community service. A lot of that is team oriented. Some of it is athletes going out on their own to pursue community service projects, whether it's a business, a place like the Hope House, the fire station, or just to help individual families out. They do a great job of that. Last year we started the Dragon Wish program, that as a younger student in one of our schools can have a night with their favorite Dragons team, hang out on the sidelines, on the bench, just to enjoy the night with the Dragons. I think that was pretty popular.
We're hoping to continue that within the confines of what we're allowed to do, but it's certainly something that has been well received, and our elementary teachers have done a great job of recommending those students and giving them that opportunity. And I'll tell you, our sports teams loved it.
Yeah, it's a very popular thing. They do enjoy those nights. Community service is just an important part of the college application process as well. So it has many benefits, as well as helping others in our community. It's a big part of the application process, and our student athletes usually have a long list of their community service projects that we're very proud of them for doing. Looking at leadership, you have led for the past several years a Dragon Leadership Program that teaches our student athletes and students in other extracurricular activities like band just how to become effective leaders for their team, and it's just kind of a lifelong skill.
Yeah, 4 years ago, Mr. Humphreys and I kind of created this program so that we could kind of blend all leadership involved in our entire school. So it's not just exclusive to athletics. I mean, there are opportunities in athletics for leadership. There's opportunity in the classroom for leadership. So we've tried to develop that throughout the course of our tenure here now. John Carney, our new band director, working on the same thing. So there are just a lot of things that we want to help students understand the value of leadership and how it's going to affect them long term. And it helps in our teams, there's no question about that, but at the same time, leadership's lifelong, and it's something that they can develop in their own way, on their own time, and we like to try to help give them that platform. You talked about awards and all the awards that we provide for our students, but I gotta give our Athletic Booster Club a lot of credit there, because big part of some of their commitment and contribution financially helps go to those patches. For example, we give a lot of patches to student athletes, and they help pay for that. Their commitment, they're the single largest contributor to our athletic budget aside from ticket sales. and our corporate sponsor program. So without them, all of our sports would suffer, no question.
Absolutely.
And their membership drive for $30, you get your name in the program, you get recognition along that line. They are going to ask you to volunteer a little bit. So, but it's a thankless job, but a necessary one to developing and moving a program forward because they support all athletics. And every dollar that we raise that goes to our athletic department it goes directly back to a team or a kid, a student athlete, with regard to awards, patches. Everybody's involved. So everyone benefits from our athletic booster club that's involved in athletics. Concessions, apparel, membership drive, Ford drive, plant sales, all the things that they do that a normal booster club would do, they're out there beating the turf, trying to make sure that they can help provide for all of our student athletes. So, and I will add to you as well, there are new leadership opportunities out there for you. If you have an interest, there's going to be some opportunity in the future for that to happen. If you have an interest or an expertise in regards to booster club fundraising and items like that, we'd love to hear from you.
And we promote those athletic booster club meetings through our social media. So
Correct.
follow us and you will know when the next meeting is.
A lot of reminders.
Mm-hmm. Homecoming was first to the list.
Yeah.
We as long as we have the fall season, we're hopeful. Our homecoming will be September 25th versus the Greenfield Central Cougars. Booster Club program inclusion to be involved in our program, our fall program, and also our winter program. Deadline for that is August 14th.
So as become a member,
right? $30 become a member.
$30 to the Booster Club.
And that way, you become a member at any time, but to get your name included in the program, please have it in by the middle of August, right? Corporate sponsor recognition, you've talked a little bit about already.
Yeah. And then really make sure your student athlete is really focusing on those volunteer opportunities. We really think that's a significant factor with regard to when and how much of scholarship opportunity they have. That seems to be the number, kind of the underlying criteria for where student dollars go. And then please be mindful that we are under construction here. And we pay very close attention to where you can park, where you can't park. That's another thing. Entering off of 500 West or Jim Road is always going to be best for you.
Right.
In terms of getting into our facility safely. Our faculties, they're going to enter off US 52. If you enter there, you may not get a parking spot. I'll be real honest with you. So plenty of visitor parking set aside for those people who want to come in off of 500 by the corporation office. That's the best way to come in here. And assure yourself of a visitor spot there right in front of the pool, actually. So that's where that's going to be, and where the aux gym is, the entrance. So, physical night, we're planning on May 17th to the 20th that week, coming up for $20. That's another date way in the future you can look at, and then just stay in contact with us on Twitter and PalestineAthletics.com, and we're going to be great. So,
any questions or concerns? Our email, our phone number is there. Contact us at any time.
We really appreciate you tuning in here. Hopefully some of the information has been helpful to you. But again, if you have any questions, like Jeff said, don't hesitate to give us a ring. Thanks for being with us.
Go Dragons.